Hey there! So this is another pick a card. My name's Abby and I'm your psychic strategist. You can also find me on See It Like a Psychic, that's another YouTube channel, and also my Instagram is AbigailGrace2311. I just post so much psychic stuff. So that basically this is all about you becoming more psychic using your own skills. And I totally recommend that in every single pick a card. The more responsibility you take for the reading, the more you will get out of it. It's just kind of how this works, like for like. So today, what we're going to do is, this is for twin flame connections, and it's what your Akashic records most want to tell you to do with this twin flame connection. Now, the one thing that I just want to say is when you go into your Akashic records, and really like any psychic thing, you may go in with a specific question, but the answer you may get might be quite different to even what you've gone in with. And the thing is, you just totally trust that you are receiving exactly what it is that you need to know to do with whatever it is that you've come in for. And because psychic stuff is completely abstract, it doesn't work in a linear format, you have to trust that sometimes you might get something, hear about something completely non-related, but actually on a psychic, on a deeper dimension, on like the mechanics of the universe that we just don't understand as humans, it's actually exactly what you need to move forward with whatever the original question was. So I hope that wasn't too complicated. One other thing just to say, when you go into your Akashic records, ideally you want to be pretty clean. What I mean by that is you wouldn't have been like drinking, taking drugs, all of these kind of things. You want to try and be a reasonably pure-ish vessel. And ultimately you want to go in when you feel relaxed. You don't want to go in when you feel over the top emotional one way or the other, or all of these kind of things. Each of us all has our own Akashic guide, and if you decide to really invest a lot more in your Akashic records, then you also end up getting an Akashic guide, which is your Akashic master. These are all things that you can totally explore, and they are available for everybody. Like, they're totally inclusive, okay? They're not exclusive. We all have this and we all have the ability. So, let's see. Just still yourself now. We're going to do three options. Now, is your Akashic message in pile number 1? Is your Akashic record in message from your records in pile number 2? Or is your Akashic message in pile number 3? So you know how I feel about this. You just go with your first instant response. You want to bypass your conscious mind, like the controlling mind, and you want to allow the answer to come from your subconscious, unconscious. For that, you want to get the answer that comes before you even think. Sometimes you also might find you might get something like, I'll get, the message is mainly number 3, but there's a tiny bit of 2 that's relevant, but you have to work out what it is. That might be something about what my guides say. So if you have 1 or 2, just totally trust with it, go with it. But remember, above all, with every pick a card, it's all down to you to work out how this functions and features for you. And you trust yourself beyond anything else. So great. I love these cards. They're beautiful. Let's go on to the first pile, pile number 1. Hi guys. So this is for you who chose message number 1. And this is what do your Akashic records most want to tell you right now to do with your connection with your twin flame. And like I said to you before, this may be completely related to them, or it may be something quite abstract, and we'll just go with that. While I'm shuffling, I'll see what messages I get from my Akashic master to do with you. And you also feel into your body, feel if you get any sensations, any thoughts, any images. Absolutely use this time now to really start to strengthen your own sixth sense. That's really important. So let's just see. Okay, so actually one of the first things that I'm getting is that, this is the image my guide's given me, is that essentially it's kind of like there's a little kid going around a pond and they're kind of turning over like big like stones to kind of see if there's like centipedes or anything like that, like little bits of ants or maybe spiders or even maybe a frog, right? And they're just turning over all of these. What my guide's actually showing me is that in this in this kind of group, there's kind of a bit of a resistance, yet at the same time, a real curiosity to see what's going on the deeper level. And I don't mean necessarily to do with the twin flame relationship, because I know that all of you will already have that kind of curiosity. And sometimes, let's be honest, it can go to an obsessive space. So I totally know that's already there. But this is more like to do with your own inner growth, because on a deep soul level, part of the reason why your soul is so curious about this connection is not just because they're your twin. That's kind of like the human pull. But on a soul pull, it's because this individual can unlock massive things within you on a physical, mental and emotional and energetic level that automatically, intrinsically, without even trying, starts to raise your vibration. And that can happen either through going through your shadow work or obviously going into your highest potential frequency. So I'm really getting that there's kind of like that going on, and that specifically for you guys is something important that you need to have a look at, to do with the shadow parts of yourself. Now, I don't necessarily mean this is going to be dark and heavy, because it's not. There's like a curious naivety but wonderment about something that you need to look at to do with your shadow self. And this is quite interesting, because I've not really ever thought about shadow work in that way, but this is specifically what I am getting and channeling for you guys. So we'll see if we can get more out to do with that. And then, I mean, my guys just give me loads of stuff about this is a transformational point for you individually as well, because I'm seeing like a butterfly coming out of a chrysalis. And then once again, I'm seeing this little kid like trying to catch it with its net. So this is also making me really feel, and my guide's saying this is correct, that as well as you have this curiosity to go into a shadow part, to do with yourself, to do with something that your twin flame connection is bringing up for you right now, and there's a real want to do it, but then there's also a kind of you're also kind of like not also wanting to allow the transformation to happen. And I do feel like that for some of you there's a little bit, and it's totally understandable, a little bit of denial about the fact that you are kind of like toe in, toe out, toe in, toe out. Like you're kind of wanting to do the shadow work and look at this deeper part of yourself. And that's like the little kid turning over the stones and rocks and looking at the centipedes. But then there's this other part of you that once some transformation starts to happen, because you obviously put out this signal of curiosity, and then the universe gives you that back and starts to show you things to do with what it is that you need to look at. You then sort of want to go around trying to trap the butterfly that's trying to fly out and transform in a certain way. So we will obviously see what else comes up with the cards with that, but just have a feel into that already, because these are quite clear messages that I'm getting really. My guy's just like, it's that. It is what it is, it's that. So let's just see. I also really got pulled to kind of, you know how I feel about pulling spreads, how the cards naturally want to come out, I read it. And with this, I'm really kind of getting, like, I had to do it in kind of like both a pyramid point, but also like a wave coming to a crest. So I feel like whatever is going on or currently going on to do with your twin flame connection, but more importantly at a deeper level within you and your own self-growth, it is critical to allow this to happen now, because it's actually going to take you to a really important place. And in fact, actually, I just feel like one more card needs to be pulled very specifically to go over this, because there's currently something that you are not allowing yourself to understand. But we will uncover all of that in this reading. So let's just see. So we've got the Seven of Pentacles in reversed. Shit, my nails. Four of Wands in reversed. Ugh. The Lovers in reversed. Then we have Virgo the Alchemist. Neptune Dreams. Sagittarius the Voyager. Then we have Violet Flame. Worthy. And I really want to know what this is. The Emperor. Okay, so guys, have a feel into this as I do, and then we'll see what comes out. Okay, so what I'm kind of overall getting with this spread, and then we'll go in individually to do with stuff, is that essentially what your Akashic records want to tell you most at the moment to do with your twin flame connection is very much to do with the twin flame connection, because we've got the Lovers card here, but we've also got the Emperor here, and with sort of worthiness and also Virgo. I really feel this is quite very feminine, the Virgo archetype, and obviously the Emperor is very, very masculine, and obviously the Lovers is the joining together of masculine and feminine. So when we're going to talk about this is not just to do with you and your twin flame connection. This is also very much to do with you individually as a soul that has both masculine and feminine energy blended in different quantities. And remember, I'm talking about energy. To a psychic, how somebody physically expresses their gender is kind of non-relevant to the energetic frequency that they have. Like, so many times I can see a female in physical, like, gender, let's say, but actually the energy that I feel from her is actually more masculine than feminine, and then obviously vice versa with men. So just bearing in mind that as well. And so really what I do think this is about is this is massively about you need to be stepping into your own, I want to say power, but it's not. It's more than that. It's you stepping into your true identity of who you really are and what you're here to do. And this is like no messing. And I'm kind of getting that that it really, really is about anything that is coming up to do with your twin flame connection, or anything that your twin counterpart is making you feel or think because of how they interact with you or how they have not been interacting with you. You really have to own that and see what that is trying to tell you on a deeper level about you as a human and you as your soul self, okay? Because I feel like there is so much ability to not only transform where you're at within yourself, which we know through like quantum entanglement will then start to transform something within your twin's reality and therefore within your connection. But it's more like, it's about really starting to take charge with what it is that you want in life. And I am actually getting, like, with a lot of these cards, although obviously we've got Neptune dreams here, for some reason to me this feels really earthy and really, really practical. And so I think if any of you, and I know it's so easy to do, are kind of getting kind of sort of trapped in the illusion of what you think might be happening in your life to do with your bank account, your job, your business, even your dreams, right? And definitely this twin flame connection. I think it's really important that you understand how to differentiate between illusions and dreams. And what my guides are saying is illusions are wishful thinking, which is not grounded in reality in any way. And therefore, by locking in more to that illusion, you detach yourself further and further away from reality. When you do that on a very physical level, you start to weaken and slower and lower your vibration. And ultimately, you start to reflect the frequency of somebody that has low self-worth, and they have that on, like, let's say on a physical level, because it's like they don't feel worthy to be fully present within their physical reality, that they need to dissociate and attach onto illusions to make them feel like they have a life worth enjoying, worth living, something like that, okay? And I'm really, really getting that from these cards. Now, you'll all have that to different variations. And you know what? Every friggin' human is going to at some time do this thing. We'll all, in certain areas of our life at certain times, have some illusions going off. And the thing is, there's not actually anything wrong with that, as long as you can recognize that that is what they are. They're almost like a net flick, right? And that's the point. You need to be able to go into the illusion, but also know you can turn off the illusion and get straight back to reality and just basically flick that shit and not let it affect your physical reality. So, you know, I really think it's really important. Your Akashic records are saying that and I think because we had that bit about almost like a bit of denial that's coming out to do with facing or looking at something that you need to, but at the same time really wanting to look at this thing. I think you've got to be really honest with yourself. Be super, super honest with yourself and really, really start stepping into the masculine energy that you have, because we all have masculine energy. And you see the Emperor really, really, it's about getting strategic, okay? You can see like he's got a pawn here and it's almost like he's pondering his next move. I think you've really got to think about things strategically to do with what it is that you want in your life and ultimately where it is you're giving your power away. I do feel like there is a large percentage of you that currently are giving your power away to this twin flame connection. And the thing is, actually, once again, that's kind of an illusion, because if you give the power away to the twin flame connection, you actually almost, I think this is why the Lovers is in reversed. You kind of like, you massively cause instability within that connection, and that instability creates almost like it's kind of like, I know, it's like tectonic plates. Imagine you're a tectonic plate and your twin is a tectonic plate. When you give power away to that relationship, it's kind of like too much energy is going off within that relationship. And it kind of like makes a huge ricochet between you and them, and therefore it causes separation within the connection. So I think it's really, really important that you really start holding your own energy and really starting to create like stability within your own life in whatever way that is. Even if you currently have a super successful business, or I don't know, you have your dream home, or you have a huge bank account, I don't know, whatever these things are that lots of people associate with physical stability, the thing is that if you have that, I guarantee there's still somewhere in your physical reality where you are causing instability because you are giving your power away. And the fact that you'll be giving it away to the power of the connection in this twin flame thing, my guides are also saying to me, but you categorically also doing that somewhere else within your life. Some of you will be doing it in other relationship dynamics, like family dynamics, friend dynamics, work dynamics. Others of you will be doing it to do with I don't know, life purpose, business, career, I don't know, whatever it might be. You've got to feel into what that is. And it's really, really important that you really, really stop doing that now. And one of the ways that you can categorically do that is, please Google the violet flame. I personally like the version which is the cosmic diamond violet flame. I'm trying to think who does that. It's that lady, that Diana something, that's really into angels and unicorns. And she's quite an old lady now. Diana Cooper, that's it. She does something about the cosmic diamond violet flame, and you can use this flame amazingly to start to clear out heavy energy and karma. And I think it'd be really good for you to maybe have like a 10-day cycle where you can kind of like say the cosmic diamond violet like prayer, or you can kind of visualize it. Personally, I'm into visualizing, so I'll visualize this violet flame coming in and rushing throughout all my cells, body and DNA in meditation, and then I'll see what things come into my consciousness as a result of that. Sometimes this can bring up past lives that need to be like cleared off. It can do a whole load of things, to be honest. You just need to be open and see what happens to do with that. But it is really important that you clear out any of this instability where you are giving your power away to things outside of you. And also, because this worthy thing is coming up, it makes me think that you are wherever you're currently giving this power away, and I know you're doing it in this relationship, but also importantly where else you're doing it. And actually, to be honest, my guides are saying where you're doing it elsewhere in your life is currently more important than you doing this here. Because ultimately it is an illusion that you can give your power away to your twin flame, because you are one and both the same energetic like frequency signature. But really what that is doing is, this relationship is more of a mirror than anything else, and the fact you're giving power away to this relationship therefore means you're giving power away to somewhere else, and you must find where this is, and you need to stop it and change it. Because the thing is, whenever you're giving power away to something else, it actually, like I said to you, it makes your vibration on earth, particularly if you're dissociating into an illusion of something or wishful thinking of something, it makes your energy field more detached from physical reality, and therefore you start to vibrate at a lower frequency to do with this physical reality, which means that your self-worth as a frequency, if you could see it as colours around your energy field, starts to dampen and lower. And when that happens, to be honest, number one, it leaves cracks for insecurities to start playing out, and then you don't want that to happen. Because when insecurities start to come in, it's almost like a self-doubt within yourself to do with something then blows other things up around you, and that can end up feeding into a negative cycle which you do not want. And the thing is, there is no need for that whatsoever, because we have 4 of Wands here, which is usually what I call the party card, and I do love this. freaking love that expression. Just really feeling free and in the moment. That is so very available to the people that chose this pile, because it's right smack in the middle of this wave of this pyramid. The only thing is it's in reverse, but I do know my guides just say, look, if you understand where you're giving a power away to, that isn't this relationship, remember, it's something else in your reality, and you resolve that, and you also clear your energy we're using the cosmic diamond violet flame, this will automatically rewrite itself. And that really is the key to do with this entire spread. And I think obviously you just need to be careful about where you are focusing your energies and what you are trying to grow, because wherever it is you're giving your power away, and like I say, it's different to you in different situations, it's actually draining your energy, and actually it's not able to create anything. It's kind of like it's not able, because this is reversed. It's like this person, we put it up right, is concentrating and putting loads of energy into growing this tree. Okay, but all of that energy, because it's in reversed, is kind of growing nowhere. And I'm getting the image that it's kind of getting you more stuck in whatever situation that you're in. So you just need to be mindful of that as well. So if you're not sure where you're giving your power away, my guides say that one of the ways that you can kind of become aware is, where is it you are focusing most energy over the last couple of months, and it has not been giving you anywhere near the same energy exchange back? That's a really good place for you to start to see where you are giving your power away. And then let's just have a look here. I just want to feel into this one, because we've got Sagittarius here, the Voyager. You know, I think the thing is, what it is a really frustratingly, I think, so for like your spirit guides and your higher self, is there is actually an incredible opportunity that's trying to come through to you guys, but it's not actually able to get in, because it's almost like on the periphery of stuff here. And actually Virgo, they've called this the alchemist, so it's something that you have been trying to create. The funny thing is, you'll think it's this, whatever you've been focusing your efforts on, but my guides are saying it's not. There's something else that you have been trying to create that is trying to make its way into your reality, but it can't get through because you've currently been focusing on the wrong thing and giving your power away to the wrong thing, and you've been concentrating more on illusions rather than something in physical reality, and that's getting this whole entire thing stuck and kind of jammed, which is once again ironic, because I do know that this is a pyramid energy that's coming up to do with your reading, and it's like a wave that's coming to a peak. And I just can't help but feel it's all about turning this energy the right way up, which I said to you is really about making sure that you stop giving your power away to whatever it is, and change how you've been doing that and clear everything out with the violet flame. I really feel this will turn the entire spread around, and I do feel that once it turns that energy around, it also turns this lover's energy around, which I really do feel is obviously your twin flame connection. And then also whatever you then start trying to manifest and change in your life outside of the relationship, something else will also start to be able to grow properly. But the first key to all of this is you've got to stop giving your power away to whatever it is. Put your focused attention on something that will give you an equal exchange back, and really looking at the power of, it's really important that you know your own self-worth like the Emperor does. This is really, really important. And my guides are also saying that once you can do all of those things we've just discussed, this Emperor then comes upright in alignment with this knowledge card, which was the original energy that came out of the Akashic, that you chose from the Akashic records, and you will understand something critical to becoming more successful in your life once you have done this. And I do feel like it's going to come through in quite an intuitive way, but currently that's nowhere close to happening, because you've got to change all of these energies. All of these energies that were reversed need to flip up the right way, which you can totally do, and I'm really, really getting that now is the time to do it. definitely Google The Cosmic Diamond Violet Flame by Diana Cooper. It's really useful. I used it so much and it really helped. And I would even sometimes get past lives coming up that were relevant that needed to clear out. So definitely have a look at that. I do think something to do with the past life is relevant. I don't necessarily think it's to do with your twin flame connection. I do definitely think it's to do with a past life where you've given away your own power to something, or you've been insecure about something and therefore wanted something outside of you to validate you in some way, but that didn't work out. It drained your energy, and for some reason you just need to clear that off now. That awareness needs to come through. You need to integrate it, let go of it, and therefore go on to the new empowered step within you. On my other channel, See It Like a Psychic, I've got a video on I think it's like the top 4 tips to do with doing past lives. I'll also leave that for you guys too, so that if any of you do find that a past life comes up through using the Cosmic Diamond Violet Flame, then you might have a bit of an idea how to work with it to get more out of it. But I do ultimately feel this is a very positive direction that wants to happen, but it's almost like there's just a few more chess moves that you need to make to secure the position that you want, and they really are the things that we talked about with, how you're focusing, what you're focusing on, changing that around, making sure that you have a really strong, empowered, focused attention in physical reality, and that you focus on things that give you an equal energy exchange back. And it's not just an energy exchange, my guides are saying, it's also a physical, mental and emotional and energetic exchange which matches what you are putting in. And you know what, my throat's starting to hurt, so I really feel like also just have a little look at your throat chakras to do with all of this. But ultimately, in fact, my guides are like, no, don't say that, it's not that. Sorry guys, it's not that. They're like, what it is it's about being authentic. Yeah, exactly, because the throat chakra is also to do with authenticity. And this is something that you really need to look at, so have a look at all of those things and see what comes out. And I'll leave the link below. Totally check out my Instagram as well on Abigail Grace 2311. I'll post lots of stuff on there. I'm also on Facebook. I also have an Etsy shop, and I don't know, you know what, you'll find whatever you need to find to do with me and everybody else. But I hope that was useful, and like I say, once you spin this the right way around by everything we've talked about, a great opportunity is going to come in, and you'll become very, very aware of what you need to do to have more success in your life, both in relationships and in a very physical job, business, money kind of way, because all of those things interlink. But ultimately, my guides are saying, this is not really so much something that's going off in your twin flame connection, even though you'll probably feel it is. It's just, they are just purely giving you a mirror to where to the fact, or it's not a mirror, it's like a highlight to that you're currently giving your power away in a way that is not only draining you, but draining the direction of where you need to go in your life. And you and your twin flame will always unite when you're in your highest potential frequency. So it's almost like the twin flame relationship is trying to give you that sign that power is being given away, so that you can get further in alignment and then reunite in whatever funky way you need to with your twin. Because let's face it, this is a seriously interesting journey if you're on the twin flame journey. So I hope that was useful, and we'll go on to the next reading. So hi pile 2, this is for you guys who chose message 2, what your Akashic records most want to tell you right now to do with this twin flame connection. Remember, this can be twin flame related, or it can be something seemingly not related, but ultimately on an abstract level is very much related to your relationship. So let's just see what comes out. I'll also see what my guides channel to me for you as a group, and you also feel into how your body's feeling, any thoughts, any messages, any images you're getting throughout this entire reading, so you can make it so you can make this reading work for you, leverage things as much as possible. So let me just see. So message 2, what do your Akashic record? Okay, right, instantly what they're showing me is I'm getting shown a game, and I'm seeing snakes and ladders, and I'm seeing somebody almost like not sure which way to go next, because they really can't work out whether they're going to go up a ladder or they're going to go down a snake. So it seems like there's some choice point moment that's going off. So my guides are just showing me how to lay out the spread. These are all quite different. I feel like there's quite a lot going on with you guys. Didn't have as many cards as this in the pile one. I'm getting as well, like, I can really feel my lungs for some reason when I'm pulling these cards, and it's making me feel like, in fact, I just picked up the same deck again. I feel like there's some confusion going off, because it's almost like, it's like you can't, and this is metaphorical, okay? This is totally metaphorical. It's almost like something currently is making you feel like you can't breathe properly, but it's not like feeling like you're so much restricted. It's more like making you feel, this sounds weird, but like distracted, or somebody in this connection or whatever is going to come up, it's making things feel really distracted, because it's kind of like somebody's partly having to focus on their breathing and making sure that they're breathing as much as they are to do with what they next need to do. And remember, that's metaphorical. And I do feel as well, because there's a lot of confusion going off, it's why the vision that I first got about the person not knowing whether they needed to go, they were going to make a choice and they were going to go up a ladder or down a snake. It really is because, you know, there's not really much grounding going off at the moment, and kind of like overthinking, but overthinking in a way that kind of is leading to rash decisions or rash choices. But then it's so paradoxical, because then at the same point it's like the opposite is occurring, because somebody doesn't want to make choices and doesn't want to make decisions because they think they're going to make the wrong decision. So there's a lot of conflict going off here. And it kind of is making me think already about the Libra archetype. And on my other video, See It Like a Psychic, I have the highest potential of the Libra archetype. Sorry, I meant Libra archetype. I think that could be quite useful to whatever's going on. But let's just see anyway what's going on here. So we've got the Queen of Swords, Three of Swords, Three of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, King of Swords. You see, guys, swords in tarot always is to do with thoughts. You know how I said, like, sort of an overthinking, not knowing what direction to take? I can really see that that is definitely just getting highlighted here, because we've got two swords energy, and then in the middle, we just got the Three of Pentacles. Let's see what's going on here. We've got 6th house, crafts, that's ruled by Virgo. Oh wow, and we have Mercury, who funny enough is the ruler of Virgo. And guess what? Mercury and Virgo, I mean, for me, Virgo is very much about, it's not just in your head, it's more like your body, anxiety in your body, or being very aware of what your body is telling you. And Mercury is definitely about communication. So once again, that links into the swords energy. Let's just see what's going on here. We've got rejuvenation, violet flame. Wow, guys, pile one also got violet flame. So there's definitely a lot of clearing of I'm not going to say heavy energy, it sounds so melodramatic, but it's more just like, you know what, your Akashic records are definitely saying that among whatever we discuss here, it's really important that you almost need to clear your energy daily for about 10 days. To be honest, the last group had to do stuff to do with past lives and clearing that. I don't feel that with you. All I feel is lots of overthinking is going off, lots of indecision, lots of like paralysis about how to move forward in some way, and to let things kind of get rebirthed, or allow certain things to fall away so that new things can come in. That is causing quite a lot of chaos within your energy field, and it's probably why I was getting all of those messages at the beginning from Akashic records. And really all the violet flame will do is, if you use that every single day in meditation, it will just help clear out basically the shit and the dust, and almost like the collateral, I don't know, static interference, which is currently going off in your energy field. If you just do that every day for 10 days, within 10 days, you're already going to be so much clearer about what you need to do. And I'm really, really getting that. So like I told the other group, I personally like the Cosmic Diamond Violet Flame. A, it sounds pimp, and B, I just loved it. And somebody called Diana Cooper, she really likes angels and unicorns and stuff like that. And that's not really my vibe, but still, I often use a lot of her stuff because you know what? It works and my guides tell me to. Go and Google her, Diana Cooper, and look at the Cosmic Diamond Violet Flame, and then use it in whatever way you want. You can use it as a prayer, you can use it as a visualization thing. You'll probably find guided meditations on YouTube as well. Really, just do that 7 to 10 days consecutively. I really, really feel that's important, because it will help to, you know what? Sometimes it's not good to have too much swords energy, but you know what, actually I think if you get rid of the distortion that you're feeling and almost like a little bit of the anxiety around whatever is currently going off in this twin flame connection, then you know what, the thought process right now is actually important. But to make this thinking and this thought process useful, you first of all have to get rid of like almost like this anxiety from like the overthinking. That just absolutely has to go, and I guarantee 7 to 10 days of using that and it will be gone, definitely. And you know what I really like about this spread is right smack in the middle you've got the Three of Pentacles, and the Three of Pentacles is such a community based card. And I really do feel that you know what, I really do feel like connection is wanting to be made by your twin. But you know what, currently, because of all of this kind of like, I mean, this is particularly intense card if you just look at that, but really because of all of these swords going off, I just think it's kind of not possible for proper, clear, coherent communication, connection to come through from you to your twin. And it definitely I do think it's interesting that you've literally got the Queen of Swords here and you've got the King of Swords here. So like obviously counterparts there. What I feel is really interesting is it actually looks like whoever has the more masculine energy out of the two of you, remember non-gender specific, because that, I mean, I don't even know how that works in the 20th century because we're all such a mixture of masculine and feminine. But whoever is the most masculine energy, you know what? I actually think they're in a good place to do with this. I think they're clear, I think they know what they want. And you know what, to be honest with you, this masculine energy, I feel, is just waiting for this feminine energy to just release the pain and hurt what they're feeling about something. For some reason, my guides are saying there's some guilt going off. And even if it might not actually be to do with this connection that you're feeling guilt, but there's something to do with guilt in your life previously, which is now interfering with this connection. And you really, really need to look at that. This is only for a few of you, and I hate doing this because I don't really like it when I hear this on like pick a card readings, but my guides are saying you need to say it. For a few of you, this might be because the more feminine of you before needs to release some guilt about like not having kept a child, you know, or having had an abortion in the past. Also for some of you, it's kind of like the guilt of you know, either shutting down to this person or, wait, just give me a minute, it's not quite coming through. It's like feeling guilty for not having taken advantage of an opportunity that life previously gave you. And therefore now feeling guilty that you should be allowed this second chance to explore that opportunity. And my guides are also saying like that's why they said about to do with maybe somebody having had an abortion before, just because that was almost like an opportunity and then somebody decided not to have it. By the way, that's no worries, because I just have to say from a soul psychic perspective, sometimes souls make agreements for all different sorts of contracts, and that does include to do with babies that never actually get fully born. Things are not black and white, okay? So you know what, just it's really important to meditate on anything to do with that, or just anywhere where you feel like life gave you a really big opportunity and then for some reason you ignored it, you pushed it aside, and now that's playing on your mind in some way, and for whatever reason this is coming in between you and your twin. Now like I say, please think about what I've just said in how it might relate to you, because it's impossible for me to give every single type of example. The examples I've given are like the most raw, potent version of this kind of vibration that I'm trying to describe. So then if you can take that almost example of what I've given you and see how that energy can apply to your situation, you'll understand what it is that you need to release, okay? And to be honest, whoever is the more masculine energy, if you're now listening to this reading, you just carry on doing what you're doing, holding space and being very, very clear, and allow that feminine counterpart just to resolve whatever she needs to. Or I say she or he, whoever it is that has the more feminine energy. And I think this is why love is actually at the very top of this entire thing, because just a bit of compassion is really needed for whatever is currently going off in the situation. If you're this person, you need to give compassion to this person. If you are this person, it's about you giving compassion to yourself, okay, and the situation. Please, can I just say, if ever you're feeling guilty, or to be honest, whatever the hell deep down you're feeling guilty about, I can honestly say guilt is a man-made, I want to say like a man-made vibration. There is never anything to feel guilty about, because all you are is a soul in a human body having experiences, and you're learning as you go along. And it really is as simple as that. Like sometimes things happen and okay, we might not do them again, or we might look at them and think, I wish I hadn't done that. But it's all just an experience. And actually, this reminds me of the snake and ladders from the very beginning that we got, of somebody deciding, oh, but if I take this action, will I go? It's almost like, will I get punished and go down a snake, or will I get rewarded and will I go up a ladder? This thing about if I take a certain action, the universe will punish me, or if I take a certain action, the universe will reward me. This is human bullshit. And you know what, I'm saying that as if I don't get affected by it. I totally get affected by that as well, because I'm totally human, as we all are. But you know what I do, my guys are just saying this is something really important to be aware of with whatever is going off with the overthinking, with the anxiety and stuff like that. And just know whatever you decide, the universe will support it. I just want to tell you something really, really quick, because I think it will help through this situation. My guides once told me, actually it was to do with my twin flame as well. My twin flame gave me this actually great opportunity, and I said yes, and then I changed my mind and said no. All of my spirit guides were like, you need to go, you should do this. Obviously, all the cards that I did tell me to go. I also did muscle testing with my brother. Muscle testing said you needed to do this. And I was like, nope, 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 nope. Then one of my guides, my favourite guide, who is actually a best friend of me and my twin flame soul from another reality, said to me, you know what, whatever you decide, we will support. And trust me, I'll get them on board with that, because it's your choice. You make the choice, and then we help you. We support you with that choice as much as we possibly can. And I think that's something to be mindful of with whatever was going off here, And there is no snake and ladder in real life, like there literally is not. There's just different choices that you make, which then give you different experiences. But all of those experiences become almost like, and I know this says rejuvenation here, but it's kind of like all of those experiences are just like, they build up beautiful patterns like fractals within your energy field, and they make you more beautiful and more interesting and more empowered and more dynamic and more diverse and all of that kind of thing. And if you can try and get into your head that is really what choices do, they just enhance you in different ways depending on the choices that you take, and there is no right and there is no wrong. I think that's really important to be aware of with this reading. I really, 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 really do. And also it's on my guides like saying, yeah, look, like, the bees all work together to create a community. And that's kind of what goes off with life with you. So it isn't like a snakes and ladders. If you do this, then this will happen. If you do that, then that will happen. And one way is good and one way is bad. It's more just like whatever you decide, life then just comes in and tries to support you with that decision as much as possible. And honestly, life itself, energy itself, never ever judges. It is impossible for energy to judge because it just doesn't see things as like good or bad. That's completely a human construct. And my guides are saying, like, if you do look at this cosmic diamond violet flame, maybe explore in meditation that kind of that concept of like right and wrong, good and bad, like all these sort of dualities, explore them. And because ultimately as well, the twin flame connection is all about unity of the opposite and the same coming together. And so you know what that does mean within this journey, you will definitely at some point have to explore everything we've just talked about. And I think that the fact that that's potentially coming up for you now is actually a really positive omen for where you're actually at within this twin flame connection on an energetic level. Like I really, really do. I really, really do. And you know what, if you're in meditation and you're feeling like you need some support while you look at some of these things that you felt guilty about, or anything to do with that, or anything that kind of like you're suppressing, because it could also just be from being brought up in a really strict environment, like with parents that are really strict, or in a certain kind of way of thinking, or a community of people that think very strictly about things, whether that could be from a religious factor, a school, a sports club. I mean, even the army, everything has its own kind of like guidelines about what it thinks is right and wrong. And so, maybe it's just something you've picked up from that kind of thing. And what you can do in meditation is, while you're working through these things, just ask your twin soul to come and be beside you while you're doing it. Or if you know your twin soul's paranormal, ask that paranormal to be present with you while you work through some of these things. Also remember, you can always go and see a healer, a shaman, whatever it is, have Reiki, any of those kind of things can really help lift all of this out. But I am really, really getting that once you do that, your energy field becomes even more beautiful and complex but simplified at the same time, which makes it a super coherent vibration, which then opens up space for this type of connection to come in, okay? And be able to hold it way more stable. And ultimately, whoever is the masculine energy, they're there and they're waiting, okay? And whoever is the more feminine energy, now it's just your turn to just go into this space, heal it, and create an even more beautiful energy field for yourself, which then means you're going to go on to this, whatever this next cycle is in your life. But completely, please check out the Cosmic Diamond Violet Flame. I feel that would be really, really useful. Really, really useful. And randomly for some of you, my guides are also saying it'll be really useful if you think you are this energy here. It'll be really useful for you to go on to another one of my pick a card videos, which was which chakra is blocked, to do with relationships. Do that one, because I also think you're going to find something really useful out of that. But first of all, have a go at that, and then maybe have a look at the chakra. Or you just trust yourself with what you need to do first. But that is basically what the Akashic message is trying to say to you. So remember that thing about there is no right, there is no wrong. That's just, all of that is just human bullshit. So just flick it ultimately when you can. Look into the Cosmic Diamond Violet Flame. Face whatever it is you feel guilty about. And wherever you feel like you said no to an opportunity, you know what? It's okay. It's totally okay. Because if that's really meant to be, that opportunity will keep reoccurring and reoccurring and reoccurring like a spiral. And you know what? When it's right, there is no rush. When it's right, you'll say yes, okay? But just go with what feels right for you. I really feel that's important. So I hope that was useful for you. You can check out me on Instagram. I'm on Abigail Grace 2311. I'm also on Facebook as Abigail Grace Psychic. I have an Etsy shop, and yeah, do check out my other YouTube channel. Like I say, I think the Libra one will be kind of useful for you. But everything is going well, and just use this. That Violet Flame is pimp. I've used it loads. It's helped me so much. And definitely check out that See Which Chakra is Blocked, to do with the relationship, whatever you're trying to create. I think that will help too. So, perfect. We'll speak to you soon. And now we'll do pile 3. So So hey, this is for everybody that chose pile number 3 for what your Akashic records most want to tell you right now to do with your twin flame connection. Remember, like I said in the beginning, this may be completely related to the connection, or it might be something seemingly non-related, but ultimately on that energetic level, it's the most relevant thing for you to know about right now to help with the connection. So I'm going to see what my guides, my Akashic Master wants to channel for you about this group. You also do the same. Feel into your body. See if you get any words, any visions, any visuals that come up. Definitely trust what you hear, what you get. So let's just see. I'm getting the feeling that it feels like, I'm getting the feeling in my body as it feels like something's slipping away, and I'm not sure whether it's going to totally fall away or not. And then my guides are also showing me somebody like ice skating on a lake, and then they're kind of slipping over. Just see what else. So it also feels like things are quite divided at the moment. But it also feels like something's being created right now, that even though it feels like things are slipping away, it's more just a case of it's the beginning of something new being created. And for whatever reason, that feels very unknown. So it makes something feel very insecure and unstable, just because it is very much the unknown. So originally I felt like, I suppose because I'm maybe feeling into whatever is going on, my guides are saying people can originally feel kind of like something's slipping away, like something might happen that will be a little bit shocking. But actually all this is it's you guys starting to integrate a new energy and vibration and thoughts and feelings within yourself. Therefore a new reality is on its way to being built, but this is quite a new reality that's being built, so everything feels quite unknown, and therefore there almost feels like a little bit of a disconnect from where you're at to where you're going to be going to. And I think that's just something that you need to bear in mind, and already that's making sense with this peace card. Because actually, if things are not just within your connection, but also within your life and within your soul's growth, starting to develop in a new way that's going to take you into unknown territory, that can feel scary for sure. But if you can try and tap into this place of peace, I've never even heard of this actually. This crystal, it says tree agate. My guys are just saying, if you guys can get any of that tree agate and meditate with it, that will really, really help. Or you don't even need to get the crystal, they say. You can just call that energy in while you're in meditation, and it will start to activate and be present with you as if it's there in physical reality. But anyway, let's just see what's going on. So your spread's quite different. It's weird, right? Because no matter how unstable you might be feeling about everything, it feels like one of the most stable spreads, and I kind of feel like it's like a spider's web's being built. So it's something about your past, present and future all coming together, and it's actually making a very kind of so bizarre. My guides are showing me the Dark Crystal. I don't know if any of you guys have seen that film. It's kind of like, that beautiful crystal that turned purple, but I think it was white. It's kind of like actually your soul is purifying itself on many different levels, and so it's starting to turn from that purple crystal into the white beautiful crystal, and that just feels a little bit scary at first, that's all. But anyway, let's just see what's going down. So we've got intuition. There we go, what did I say? Frequency shift. Exactly. Celestial. Wow, beautiful colours. Let's go with this one. Ace of Pentacles. You see new beginning. New things are being built. The Hierophant. Page of Wands, the King of Wands, and Three of Cups in reversed. So just give me a minute while I feel into this, and please you feel into it as well. I mean, to be honest with you, I kind of feel like everything that, you know, my guides were saying to me as I was channeling it, but I think it is just true. I think, you know what, if you are feeling a bit unstable, a bit unsure about things, I think this is going to sound bizarre. You need to take that as a real friggin' positive right now. Because, you know, it really is, like I say, you are shifting, you are changing, you are growing, and actually you're going into a space you've never been in before, and therefore it doesn't feel comfortable because it doesn't feel safe because it isn't known, but it is a higher frequency of who you are and where you're going to be headed to. And one of the big things in the twin flame journey, my guides have always told me, is more than you coming together with your twin flame like we all seem to think you need to, it's all about your twin flame interactions helping both of you become your highest potential within this lifetime. So it means that you are activating and you are living your life purpose, which not only is pimping for you, but it's pimping for the whole of reality, because it's something that you need to do that really gives you a powerful energetic frequency, which is then felt by everything and everyone around you. And a bit like, I don't want to say the butterfly effect, because I always think that's quite like wishy-washy, but because you hold a certain frequency, it then like reflects out in so many ways you have no idea, and makes a huge impact on the whole of the world in whatever way that might be, even if it isn't necessarily obviously tangible how you do it. You are doing that on an energetic level, and I really also get that with all of those cards. Like, I just really do, like, super powerful and potent. And also the fact that that one that feels to me the most powerful of all of these cards, it's right under the King of Wands. And I always think the King of Wands is such a powerful energy, and I do also think this means that in terms of your twin flame connection, whoever is the more masculine vibration, and remember, non-gender specific, it's just about energy, it's about frequency, okay? So whoever has the most masculine energy, I really think they're stepping into a very powerful place. And you know what, I really think they're starting to get rid of unhealthy attachments, both in relationships and friendships, but you know what, also just in like physical reality distractions. I think they're really letting go of those and really focusing on themselves, which I think is really cool. And I actually think whoever is the more feminine energy, they're starting to loosen up. So, you know, if that is you, if you're the more feminine energy, you're just starting to loosen up a little bit. Like, be more playful with life. Just look at that. I love that card for the Hierophant, because so often the Hierophant can seem like a really heavy card. I don't always like it in traditional tarot. To me, it just feels like established order, which is just not my vibe. Whereas this one really feels like what I think of the Hierophant on a soul level. It basically finds every moment full of wonder and delight, and is just exploring all of it, and feels completely protected within themselves and their environment to do kind of whatever they want, and they don't judge themselves for it, which I really think is awesome. Because funny enough, there was quite a bit of judgment, self kind of judgment, that was going off in pile 2, and I really don't feel like this is very different in this pile. Very different. I think the main thing, and it is quite to the point and straightforward really, the main message that your Akashic records want to tell you right now is you just need to go with this. And any ways that you don't feel, you know, as things shift and change, which they will be doing, just go with it, just enjoy it, be light-footed, don't be too stuck in any one place, and you'll find it easier to move. And I think you can absolutely trust your masculine right now, like 100%. So you don't need to I mean, you know what, this is totally not about really the twin flame dynamic, not this spread isn't. I just really think this is very much a message for whoever it is that has come in this spread right now, that your counterpart is in a great place. They're doing everything they need to. They're becoming more and more empowered, which ultimately means they're coming closer and closer towards you and your connection. And you know what? You're in a really great place as well. Okay, I can feel that deeper down there's uncertainty about how things are going to go forward. And probably some of the things your intuition is telling you, it's probably telling you a lot right now. And you're kind of a little bit like, fuck, really? Is that really going to happen? That just seems a little bit far-fetched, but I really just feel like you trust it. You trust it, you go with it. I think you've developed a lot within yourself so that you can trust your intuition. And you know what, this is probably nothing I'm saying is probably a surprise on any level. I suppose really all of this is probably more your guides have probably pulled you to this reading because they just want you to be reassured by the fact that you already know everything that you need to, that you're doing everything that you need to, that your counterpart is doing everything that he's needing to. And you know what, ultimately, just relax about the whole situation. You know, it's going well. And I suppose, therefore, the one warning message, one booby trap that my guide is saying there could be is when things grow into a new phase, it's always unstable in the beginning because look, the roots are just not that deep. They're not that secure yet. So obviously it can be quite unpredictable what happens with in new growth. And that's why, because as things are shifting and moving, but that's why it's important that you do not bring any anxiety into the situation whatsoever. That's why peace is so, so important. And I do feel that you need to be light-footed and have total trust in whoever is the more masculine energy. And therefore, because your twin flame is just really a reflection for your physical reality, I also feel that it means that if you're the more feminine energy, which I know that usually a lot of you are that can listen to these videos, if you're the more feminine energy, you also need to not only trust that your masculine's doing what it needs to, but whatever is going off with your career, your job, or your finances, I do believe you need to trust that as well. And that's a really specific message that my guides are like, yes. It's kind of like they wrote it on a blackboard for me and then they used the chalk to like underline it as I like read it out to you out loud. That's how important that bit is. So take that in whatever way it is. To be honest, this is just a very, very short message because I just feel like you've got it. I didn't do this for the other two piles, but I feel like I will for you. I just want to pull a wild card for you guys. We're going to use the crystal deck again because I like it. In fact, you know what? No. We're going to use this one. So we'll use the Queen of the Moon Oracle. And this is just one for you guys to interpret. It's particularly with intuition here. I'll read out what it says in the book, but you just go with whatever you get with this. It's really cool, to be honest, because despite the original feelings of kind of like feeling like things are slipping away and this, that and the other, really what's slipping away is everything that you no longer need. And it is just about relaxing and allowing all of that to happen, because I do really feel like everything is happening in exactly the way that it needs to. I feel like the masculine energy is getting very strong and stable. I feel like the feminine energy is loosening up and becoming more fluid, and that just makes each partner more appealing to one another. And like I say, I also think that's happening the flip reverse. That's also, you know, I think your physical reality is starting to become more stable if you're the feminine one. And if you're the masculine one, I feel like your relationships and most importantly your emotions are starting to become more fluid, and you're starting to be able to integrate them far better. So on the whole, really, really feels like very, very positive. But let's just see what you get here as a wild card. So you get... nice. Abundance. Hunter Moon. And number 38, 8, 9, 10. Oh, 11. Master number 11. I always think of 11 as two magicians standing together. So two people that are completely in tune with their physical, mental, emotional, and energetic selves, each coming together to make this powerful 11 number. But that's just my interpretation. So now let's just read this out for you. So this is number 38, and obviously just take what resonates with you. So it says here, Hunter Moon, abundance. Take advantage of this time of abundance. It is all around you. Possibility and opportunity are everywhere. You are open and responsive to the abundance around you. There is enough for everyone. It says here, I am abundant and I am surrounded by opportunity. The Hunter Moon is a traditional moon of plenty. It was when game was at its most plentiful, so the people would not go hungry. The moon was large and bright in the sky, and in some cases deep orange, and there was a great deal of light to go hunting well into the evening. Our ancient ancestors couldn't just go off to the supermarket to buy what they needed to eat. Meat didn't just come on trays. wrapped in plastic. Eggs were gathered. Warm clothing was made from skins of the same animals that were hunted for meat. Nothing was wasted. This abundance was part of a cycle, just like any other. It wasn't present all the time, so this time of the year was to be taken advantage of while the good was gone. The barrenness of winter would soon return. Hunters had to be prepared. They had to have their weapons ready and their tracking skills honoured. As modern people, we are less used to these natural cycles of plenty and barrenness because most of us have stepped away from growing food in the natural environment. However, these cycles are still there, even if we are not part of them consciously. This moon normally rises in October in the northern hemisphere, and so was before the winter snows. And it says here the accompaniment stone or metal is citrine. So obviously take that message with everything else that's gone off here. I just really feel like that is, I don't know, it just feels like a really positive reading. And just trust with all of this. Just allow things to happen the way they're happening, because everything is happening in a great space. Like it really, really is. And do you know what? If any of you do get any anxiety about anything called low-grade anxiety, I actually have on my See It Like a Psychic channel, I've got a video on something like the best way to sort out anxiety, because it's definitely something I have, being like a super intuitive extrasensory person, and it's actually how you can use crystals with it. So I'll leave a link for you there in case for whatever reason that is required. But just know this now, my guides are saying there is no need for any anxiety about everything. Really, it's all going in a great place. And I'm just kind of saying, look, it's this vibe. One hand in pocket, one hand holding a stick, no problem. Totally got this sorted. Totally. Even the line in the background, no problem. And that's really where everything's at for you at the moment, so just trust that. So I hope that was useful. I'm on Instagram on AbigailGrace2311. You can find me there. I also have a Facebook. I've got an Instagram, Etsy shop, all of that. I'll leave in the comments below. And yeah, definitely check out that other video if you feel called to. And hopefully see you soon. So take care. Bye.